When you are persecuted or in a difficult position, especially in the case of our country in Zimbabwe, you are lonely, you become vulnerable, and chances are high that you can actually really walk a different road. But when solidarity comes, it warms the heart. It makes the individual who is persecuted to realize that what they have been standing up for has actually been recognized by other people around them. And it actually strengthens the spirit of that individual. I think in my case, whenever I got to court and found the courtroom actually full to the brim, it just made me realize that people kind of identified with what I was going through. So at that point, I would actually not see myself as an individual, but I would see myself in reference to everyone else who was coming to come and give solidarity. And I also want to specifically speak about the cards that I received from all over the world through Amnesty International. I think there is one particular card that really made me emotional. It was a card from a 5-year-old, and they had drawn flowers on it, and their message was very clear, that they have understood the struggle that I was going through, and they were fully behind me. And this is someone I had not even met, and obviously being a 5-year-old, it's someone who might have had his parents or her parents speak about my situation, and they identified with this situation. And I think in our case in Zimbabwe, we need to recognize that the challenge that we face is that we are compartmentalized. That when persecution comes, it's kind of, you are told that it's directed at human rights defenders or people in civil society. And if you are not in that category, it's highly likely that you'll say, well, I'm not affected by that. And you are likely to then look aside. My advice is think deeply and recognize that we are all Zimbabweans. And once they are done with the compartment of human rights defenders, they will come for everybody else. And at the end of the day, there might not be anyone to speak out on your behalf. It's important that we are able to get critical mass. And we can only build critical mass by mobilizing others. So never you sit in your own corner and think that no, my voice is not important and no one will listen to it. Bring out that voice. You will actually be surprised in terms of people that are going to look in your direction, and the manner in which you will also be able to move and encourage other people. You are aware that, especially in our country in Zimbabwe, a lot of people have been instilled with fear, and they will only be able to stand up for what they believe in if they have seen other people being able to stand up. So that voice that you think is too soft, that voice that you think is not going to be listened to, is the voice that's going to bring the change. What is important is that we need to be able to stand for each other, especially in this situation where the repression is really going deep. We really need to have our voices heard as loudly as possible. And we need to be able to do this in our numbers, because we are aware that there are thousands of Zimbabweans that are struggling, who cannot breathe under this repression. Those voices are actually going to enable those Zimbabweans to recognize that they can actually breathe when they recognize that there are people around them who will give them the necessary support that they require.